Good day. You're back with us at the Speakers Bureau, St. Lucie County Public Schools Speakers Bureau. We have a great guest today. I'm Dr. Donna Mills, the host of the program. And, you know, you may be wondering about the Speakers Bureau. What is that all about? We come on to encourage, to motivate, to help with life's issues and circumstances, and we do all of this through having people come on that live right within our community, and they share their life story. They talk about within those stories the different challenges they had, the different problems or issues that they might have had in life, and how they overcame those. So we're going to discuss with Miss Indira Borgella today. She is our guest. She is the CEO of the Treasure Coast Communications Marketing Agency, known as TCCM. And she has been so gracious to come on and share with us some of her life story. So, Miss Indira, we have known each other now for few years.
A few years, yeah.
And I've come to love you so much. You're such a sweetheart.
Thank you.
And so we are so thankful that you have decided that you have accepted our invitation to be one of our guests.
Thank you for having me.
Can you share your career, why you chose what you have chosen, and that type of thing, so we can understand who you are professionally?
Okay. Well, I grew up in New York. I went to City University of New York, Hunter College, and I studied media. And I actually wanted to start out in front of the camera. I was studying journalism. But then a few years into it, at a four-year university, I discovered that I had intense stage fright. And so I decided, you know what? I've got 3 years under my belt. I need to turn this around. And I hopped behind the camera. And then that's when I found out that that's actually what I love doing. So in my fear and in wanting to just, graduate, I jumped behind the camera. And I had a lot of fun doing it in New York. I had several shows that I was on that I was part of. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And so you still do that today?
I do.
Yeah.
I didn't always. When I first came to Florida, my husband and I, we had a marketing agency in New York, but our focus was marketing. We didn't really have a video element to it. When we came down to Florida, I saw the need. And honestly, when I first moved down here, there was not that much opportunity. I had to drive all the way down to Boynton if I wanted to, work in the field. I had to drive either to Miami, to the bigger cities in order to do something that I was passionate about. But with, at the time, 3 children, that's like impossible. Driving, an hour, 2 hours to do something that I love, to then have to rush back, and if they were sick or something, it became too much. I was working in Boynton for a bit. And it just became too much.
So you mentioned you're from New York originally before you got here.
Yeah.
And so why move here to St. Lucie County, and then you have to go way to Miami and all these distance? What brought you here to our county, and how long have you been here with us?
It's been about 7 years now. My sister actually moved here. My husband's family moved down to Boynton and West Palm Beach, Royal Palm Beach, Wellington area. Although we loved it down there, I wanted to be with my family also. So, I said, let's just try Port St Lucie. Let's just do it. We fell in love with the city, actually. And then to see how it's grown over the last 7 years, it's incredible.
Yes, it is.
It's incredible.
Yes, yes.
Right before our eyes, you just see the city growing, blossoming. And where I'm from, in Far Rockaway, Queens, it's a beach town. So when I came across Fort Pierce, I fell in love. The ocean is
because
right
it's
there.
A beach town.
Oh,
yes.
goodness, yes. So that's why we chose Port St Lucie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I came to Port St Lucie from Fort Pierce and lived in Port St Lucie for about 30 years now.
Okay.
and absolutely love it. But when you talk about the growth,
I know.
it's incredible. And the
Yeah,
years go
yeah.
by so quick when I
Yeah.
say that. Well, I didn't live in, let me go back. Not 30 years. I lived all the way through Fort Pierce and Port St Lucie in St Lucie County.
Okay.
About 20 years in Port St Lucie. And when I got here, there were deer everywhere.
Deer?
Deer. You had to watch out. That's how much we have grown.
Oh my gosh.
You had to watch out. I mean, I've seen deers, would see deers just
Yeah.
walk right in front of the cars. I'm
Wow.
standing at my gate waiting for it to open up.
Oh my
I'm in a
goodness.
gated community. And there go the deer, the mother and the children or the father.
Wow.
It was so much deer. The deer would be in the park. It would just be everywhere. You have to be very
Wow.
careful.
I've seen the wild boar.
Today I have not seen deers
No.
for years.
I've seen bobcats and boars, but no
Because
deer.
of the growth, you know?
Yeah.
So you mentioned your husband and that you
Yes.
have children. Can you tell us a little bit more about how many kids you have? And,
Sure.
you know, are they in St. Lucie County public schools, that
Absolutely.
type of thing?
Well, they are in public school in St. Lucie County. I love their school. Oh my gosh, I love the teachers. They challenge them. They're really excelling. And I'm very happy with the school they're at. And then, well, my husband, we have 4 children. We have 3 close in age, and then a nice big gap, and then we have a 6-year-old who's doing very well as well.
You do have a set of twins, too, right?
I do.
Uh-huh.
I have a 14-year-old twin, 13-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, let's talk a little bit about your childhood memories. Can you take us back and start telling us about your story?
Absolutely. Well, I guess I started, it was a happy childhood, very happy. My mother passed, though, when I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
And so my father raised 5 of us by himself.
Wow. And
So
yet you had a happy childhood.
Absolutely.
So Dad did a fantastic
He
job
did.
with 5 children.
He did. He did. He worked very hard. He ended up having to work overnights so that, you know, somebody was there during the day. So, and he was supportive in everything that I did. He would come to my basketball games, come to my sporting events, parent-teacher conferences. So I mean, I don't think I lacked anything, but you know, how do you know? I mean, he was there and he did his absolute very best.
He
and,
was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
when you can say that, you don't think you lacked anything, and yet your one parent passed,
Yeah.
which is very traumatic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, how many siblings do you have? Oh, you said 5. He raised 5.
5 of us in total. Well, 6. My father then remarried and has another child, but yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so you had this wonderful childhood
Yes.
with a single parent. And what did you, as you grew into your teenage years, how was that for you?
My siblings, there was a 12-year gap from my oldest to me. So I looked up to them. They were like parent figures, even today.
12-year gap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 6 years and then 5 years. Yeah. And so I look to them as parent figures. They were the ones who taught me everything that they knew. Even now, I have a bucket list, right? And on that bucket list, I wasn't able to join a sorority in college, but I recently joined a sorority in my adult years, last year or earlier this year.
And what sorority is that?
Zeta Phi Beta
Okay.
Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
Yeah. Fort Pierce chapter. And the reason I even did that was because I saw my sister, my older sister Michelle, in college. She at that time pledged. So it was something that I always wanted to do, but I never got around to it. So, you know, they were my role models. They were the people that I followed, my older siblings.
And with that being said, that tells us how important it is to have positive role models.
Absolutely.
And especially your siblings, your older siblings.
Yeah.
You know, older siblings out there, the younger ones are watching you.
Absolutely.
And you can make a tremendous impact, not only with your life, but
Yeah.
you can make a tremendous impact with your siblings' lives.
Yes.
And really, all that's around you as they watch you is not so much about, well, you know, you're watching me and who do you, you know,
Stop copying
you're
me.
judging me and all that. And
Yeah.
it's about encouraging other people through your very own life. And that's what your
Yes.
siblings did for you.
Yep. Like my oldest sister, she worked in New York City. She worked on 42nd Street at that time MCI building, and I'd go to work with her sometimes, and just experiencing that really opened my eyes. Like where I'm from, a lot of people sometimes they didn't even leave the peninsula, you know, but doing that on a daily basis, that became my norm. That became
You were exposed to
yeah.
something great that influenced your life, and it became
Absolutely.
normal for you.
Because we are a culmination of our life experiences. So even today, I make sure that my children experience a lot of different things to make sure that they make well-informed decisions on what they want to do with their life. Oh, I experienced this, I experienced that. Well, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, or I do love this. So just giving children life experiences helps them to dream and know that it's attainable.
So, okay, what are you most proud of?
I would say
In your
being a
own
mom.
your accomplishment of being a mom.
Being a mom, having my mother pass away when I was quite young, that was, that, like you said, it was a traumatic experience, and becoming a mother myself, I kind of got to live my life again, if you will, like through my children. I became the mother that I wanted.
Yes.
You know, so
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. If you had a chance to do something over again in life, what would you do differently?
follow my passion sooner.
Okay.
Follow my passion sooner. When you have children, right, you sometimes have to put your life on pause because you want to make sure that their foundation is solid.
Yes.
You want to make sure that they have everything they need, they lack nothing. They have all the life experiences, you know. But they also are watching you. And if you're not following your passion, they might not follow theirs either. So they see me get up and do what I do. And I've heard them say things to me like, wow, Mom, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like when something's over, I'm like, I know. And so I have them assist me sometimes at the studio. I have them assist me with just online stuff. I have them like looking at what I'm doing.
What you're doing.
Yeah, we've recently published, I became the publisher of Better Living and Marketplace magazine, which is a magazine that goes out to homes on the Treasure Coast. We have many different drop-off locations. So, you know, the magazine went to a couple of their friends' house and they were like, is this your mom?
Yeah.
So, so that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you make me think of my firstborn, my daughter. When she went to college, that's when I went back to school because I originally have just my GED. And then, you know, later on became a mom, met my husband and had the children. And,
it's like you paused.
But when she went back, I said, oh no, I cannot have my daughter graduate from college without me graduating first from college. And we actually graduated the same year.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
So it was, yeah, and I didn't walk across the stage because we both graduated at the same time. I had to go to her graduation. That was first. That's what moms do.
Yep, you're so right.
Yeah. So, and it is good for our children to see us as examples.
Yes.
My husband's mother never got her high school diploma, but eventually she went back to school and got her GED from the college, you know, and so, and that's still, he still thinks about that, how his mom was willing to go back after 12 children.
Wow.
And go back and get her GED. And she was so determined when she made up her mind to do it and did.
Amen.
So, yeah. So, where are you originally from?
I'm from New York, from Queens, Far Rockaway. A nice little town in Queens. On one side is the bay, one side is the ocean. Beautiful town. So I lived on the beach. I got to experience amazing sunrises and sunsets along the water. It really reminds me of Fort Pierce. It really does. Very
Okay.
much so.
And your parents, where are they from?
My family, my history, my father is from Panama. His parents were from Jamaica and St. Lucia.
Okay.
And they came to Panama to work the canal. And my brother, who has become obsessed with his genealogy at Ancestry.com, he started putting together our family tree.
Oh, that's great.
And to see some of the things that I come from, it's quite amazing. They played an integral part in building the canal, the Panama Canal. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, that's why it's so good to know your background, to know where you're from, and and those people that made a difference.
A
in some
difference
way or
and the things
another.
that they endured
And the stuff
in order
that
to make that difference.
in spite of.
Yes.
Yes. Do you have any favorite music?
Oh wow, I am on the Afro Beach train right now. I mean, I love Burna Boy, Wizkid. I mean, Thames. I mean, yeah, they're killing it right now in the music industry. Yeah.
If you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
You know, my little one, the youngest, he's become obsessed with Paris. I'm not sure where he saw it, but for his birthday, he says, "Mommy, I want to go to Paris."
How old is the youngest
He's
one?
6.
Yeah,
Oh, now
that's
he's
what I
7.
thought, yeah.
So, I mean, I do want to travel to Nigeria and Ghana.
Okay.
But first, I'd like to take him to Paris to just see his face light up.
Okay. Well, when you guys go, let me know.
I will.
Now, if you could only keep, and you and your husband have accomplished so much, and I think of you two as a young couple because I'm much older, and I've watched you and I see the tremendous work that you're doing in this community, and not just for yourself, but how you reach out to the community at large.
Yeah.
And it inspires me when I have people like that around me. Now, if you could only keep now you have lots of possessions, I know that you've actually bought homes or houses. I mean, you guys have done a lot. If you could keep 2 to 5 possessions, what would they be and why?
I'd say my wedding ring.
Okay.
I'll say that. I cherish my marriage.
That's
I cherish
important.
my husband, my family,
Yes.
all that it represents. That beautiful institution. Without it, I don't know how people, how I would
Be able
survive.
to do it.
Yes, it's hard. Yeah.
If you had to do what your dad did,
Exactly, that's
how
what I'm
would you
thinking about.
survive? And there's
That's
so
what I'm
many
thinking
people
about.
out there like that,
Yes.
like your dad, was
And
a
I give it
single
to them.
parent.
Oh, 'cause
Yes.
he worked hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very much so. That's one. And I'd say my home. It's where we are making memories. It's where my children wake up. It's where we eat dinner together. It's where we live. It's where we are. That's where we're making our memories.
How important is that? I
Yeah.
mean, that you can have a roof over your head.
Absolutely.
And have the main things that you have.
Yep.
Because again, when you look at people in this country, but around the world,
Yeah.
we take many times those possessions that we have for granted.
Yes.
We just think it's supposed to be. But my
I
God.
try to tell my children, guys, like, you don't understand how privileged you are at this point in your life. Growing up, I remember some of the things I went through. I mean, it was just my dad. So wants and needs are very different.
They are.
They are very different. All of our needs were met. Some of the wants, though, I mean, of course, it's just having the children to just appreciate what they have.
I say many times, we as Americans being in this country,
Yes.
how we take things for granted. Our children just expect certain things, and we...
Like a new this came out, they should get it.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, even
No.
something as simple as having a television set.
Yes.
I did,
We
went
had
to a
one.
third world
Yeah.
once, and after going to that third world country,
Yeah.
I understood what I had in a more
Yes.
deeper way. And to the point where I did mission work for over 25 years back and forth in that third world country, because I knew I had so much compared to them. And I needed to share what I had with people who had so much less. No doors, no windows, mud huts that they were living in. And how could I turn my back? I think it's more of us need to go to third world countries so that we can really experience what human life is going through around the world. Yeah, and how blessed we are here in this country. What teacher in school made the most impact on you? Can you remember one?
Absolutely, and I can remember the moment. I can remember exactly. I was in high school. We were taking, it was a biology class that I was in, and we were discussing the heart. And this is before YouTube. This is before Khan Academy. This is before, you know, all these other, you know, technology moves forward in leaps and bounds. But at that time, you know, if you didn't get it from the library or the encyclopedia set that you had at your house, you know, if you was lucky to have that.
Remember them encyclopedias.
So he came over to me. We were studying the heart, and he came over to me because I made up a song. I don't recall the song right now, but I made up a song to remember the chambers and how it went through. And, you know, I was teaching the other kids in my class, and he actually pulled me out of class and pulled me into the hallway and said, Indira, in all my years of teaching, I never met, you know, someone who cares to teach a song about the heart. And he said, you should really, really consider studying medicine or studying or going into that field. And that really, just to have him pull me, I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was making too much noise. I thought I was like talking what I wasn't supposed to be talking. But he really, just for him to single me out like that, just for him to take me out of the classroom and to talk to me and to pour life into me, to just say, I believe that you can do this, that was a big deal for me.
It shows how important our educators are.
Very much so.
How important
I really thought he
teachers,
didn't see or notice anything or care. I just thought he was just up in front of the board. But for him to pull me out, he wasn't a loud, happy teacher. He was, you know, very to the point. I don't know if you remember the teacher from the Wonder Years, like monotone, kind of like that. So to have him do that, I felt it was out of his character. So he must have been so compelled to like pull me out and tell me this.
Wow.
So it really made a big difference in my life.
Yeah. Our educators, we thank you for your work.
Absolutely.
We really do.
And
you are frontline warriors.
Absolutely.
And to be able to influence the lives of children to the point that it makes a tremendous difference in even their self-esteem.
Yes.
To be in the classroom with so many children and still make that tremendous difference. We thank you for your work and appreciate. That's a great story to tell, because I think many times when we're working with children, we don't understand the tremendous impact that we really can make. And whether it's working with children or our children at home, you know, the things we say to them makes a difference. You know, if a child is living in a home where the parent is cussing them out, imagine what that does for the self-esteem of that child, you know. But there's hope there too.
Absolutely.
Because we've had so many speakers come on this program that have come from such homes, and they have been able to not just survive, you know, their life circumstances, but they've been able to excel in spite of. So what do you account that for? That some people just seem that no matter what the challenges they're going through, make it through. What do you say? What ingredient do you think they have there?
You can either choose to react or respond, right? And the difference is when you react, you're doing something that makes you feel better at that moment. But when you stop and you respond to the situation, you're getting out of it what you want. You're getting out of the situation your choice, your feeling. You are choosing what happens. You're not just reacting. you're responding. So although something did happen to you, you can either react or choose to respond in a way that is positive. Choose to respond in a way that...
In other words, like you said, never want to be in that place that you couldn't help it. Your mother passed.
Yes.
But now you have
Exactly.
the opportunity to do so much more for your kids through your example and what you say to them.
Yeah, and it makes me smile sometimes. I know that's odd to say, but when I see my children doing something, I just imagine what my mom would have been like when I was doing this, you know? And it makes me smile. It does.
Now, who do you admire most in life? Who do you call a hero in your life? Or it could be someone presently here, someone that was, my hero is Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
But she's not so much a who I admire her, but I do have people that I admire today, and yet she's still my hero. So talk to us about that.
Oh, I'm gonna go with my dad.
Okay.
My dad, he had the choice to separate the children, and I will get emotional, to separate us, to go live with his mother, his brother, his sister, because it's difficult for a man in New York City to have 5 children on his own. But he fought through it. He kept us together. I know. And he kept us together, and we did well. And the love that we have for each other is like palpable. When we're together, it's like whatever's going on in our life is just, we're right back to just that original love, if you will.
Thank you, daddies.
Yes.
Out there. Thank you for being the father that you are supposed to be, you know, to your child or your children. Wherever you are, we thank you. As women, we thank you for being that daddy that our children need. Boys and girls need a daddy. And you may not even be the birth daddy, but you've been a father to children. You've been really a daddy, and you've really loved and cared for those. We just want to thank you from our hearts. One more question, and that is, what are you most afraid of?
Oh.
And you have less than 50 minutes to tell,
what am I most
seconds to
afraid
tell
of?
us.
Like I said before, I have this bucket list of things that I want to check off. And how I even attack the bucket list, I have dream boards that I do every year with my children. So I have mine up, and I've got about, this year I'm a little bit behind, checking off all the things on that, but not accomplishing everything I want on that dream board, that dream board and that list.
Okay, so you've got some accomplishments you must make.
That I must do,
and you're afraid that you may not make them if you don't really get out there and do what you need to.
Yep.
Miss Indira,
Yes.
Miss Borgella, this has been a tremendous time with you. Thank you so much for your willingness to be open enough to share those challenges and life stories, because many people don't want to talk about it.
You are so right.
So we appreciate it. God bless you, and thank you so much for being a guest today.
Thank you.
On the Speakers Bureau.
Thank you.